Hey, you guys, here at Heavenly Again in the gondola today. And what Spirit impressed on my heart to talk about is channeling. And channeling, everybody does it. It's not going away. Except we don't have to take on these personas of other entities to channel. Because what we're going for is the universal mind connecting with our pineal gland and putting information into our brain. So channeling, what stops us from channeling? Guilt and shame stops us from channeling. Stops us from thinking that we can hear God or that we're good enough to hear God. The guilt comes in. Religion has heaped enough guilt on everybody. Tells us we're not worthy to hear God. We must bow down before, and if we're just, if we just have a really good day, maybe we can tap into source energy. So guilt, who needs it? I've done a video and talked about guilt. So if we have guilt and shame, we will not go and listen and receive from source energy. So we need to get rid of that, because we can boldly come to the, for a better term, the throne of source energy and make our petitions known. So let's get rid of guilt, and then we can tap in to source energy. And we tap into source energy via the universal mind. And that's where our genius eventually will come through collectively, is when everybody taps into the universal mind, gets the information, and then shares it. So, excuse me, I'm just got notes. I got a lot to say today, and I just want to make sure it comes out. So we can liken it, an example we can use to hook up to source energy is God is the mainframe, and we are a little PC. And so when we tap into source energy, we hook up to the mainframe via our pineal gland. And then with that information that we get, we put it into our brain. So then our universal mind, our higher self, is actually dictating our truth, revealing us great information, things that we do not know of. In the past, what happens is the ego, which uses the mind and the body, the senses, to dictate its truth or to tell a soul what the truth is. We've allowed our mind-body illusion, because we're spirit. That's all the mind-body illusion is the illusion that that's all we are, when we have a spirit. But when we allow the mind-body illusion to dictate truth, we get off into the belief of separation. We believe we're separated from God. Religion keeps us believing that because of the guilt that I just mentioned to you before. We believe we're separated from each other. And so, we have to basically know that we're spirit, and we have to hook up to source energy. And that example kind of helps, the computer example, because we can see that, as we tap into source energy, what we're channeling is the universal mind coming back, giving us information, and then we're putting that information into our brains. And our higher mind, the universal mind, God, source energy, he, she, it, they, are dictating, are co-creating with us. Channeling entities, really I believe people who channel entities do that because they want to validate, they want to make their voice seem more credible. So they'll channel a different entity and change their voice. That, I think, is going away. We don't have to change our voice and become an alien entity to validate, to give our message credibility. People will know if your message is credible if it resonates with them. And I do love those people who are doing that, Cryon and Bashar. Their messages, for the most part, are really good. There's a few times they get into a very new agey sit and let things happen, which is bullshit. We are here to actually act and do something to create the mess that egos who do not listen to the universal mind, higher source energy, knowledge, they've created this darkness on this planet. And by not listening to the higher source, that's why we get to listen, channel the higher mind, and make a change. So the only thing I don't like about some of those new agey messages is just sit still and just think on happy thoughts and things will get better. No, we have been placed here to change the collective, to speak into the zeitgeist. And so channeling source energy without changing your voice is credible enough when the message that you get will resonate with others. You don't, again, have to channel another entity to give your voice credibility. So let go of the guilt. You can picture the tapping into source energy as a computer. And then one thing how you know that you're getting information from source energy is source energy will always exhort, comfort, encourage, or admonish. Exhort, comfort, encourage, or admonish. Just think a world that first receives that information, right? A person who is tapping in, channeling information that's encouraging, exhorting, comforting, or correcting. That's loving yourself. And when you love yourself enough, you'll start loving others, right? Love yourself to love your neighbor. You must love yourself to truly love your neighbor. So you must forgive yourself, let go of all the guilt and shame, tap in, get the love, encouragement, exhortation, comfort, admonish, correction from the higher source, and become healed, and then heal those around you. Just think if everybody on this planet tapped into source energy and just allowed the universal mind to speak, that if everyone became a mouthpiece of encouragement, exhortation, and comfort. Wow, talk about love. You know, sitting and getting forgiveness and love and encouragement from source energy, and then turning around and giving that out. So channel the universal mind, the higher self. Realize that when you start channeling your universal mind, you're not allowing your mind, the mind-body, to dictate truth anymore. What a world when we just start all channeling the universal mind and allowing that love, encouragement, exhortation, comfort, and correction as you're led, correction, because you who judge. Anyways, when we love ourselves and we get the information from above and we put it into our minds, that's the age of Aquarius. That's the universe expanding within us. We don't need to become transhumanists and put chips in us. And, human technology will never, ever, ever overshadow or accomplish what we can already do as spirits. That's Luciferian doctrine. And they do that through control, manipulation, and whatnot. So, yeah, and I would have to say too that, God doesn't control us. And so when you're using this gift, that's it. So when you're using this gift, you're tapping into source energy. There's many ways we can hear source energy. We can, in our mind, in our head, we can hear. It's not audible, but we can hear a voice, and it's like you're taking dictation. So as you tap into the universal mind, you're taking dictation. You can do that through hearing. Again, it's not audible. You'll just hear it in your head. You can see an image, and then you can just relay that image to whoever, yourself first or whoever's listening. Or then it's a knowing. You just know. It's like the universal mind just downloaded something into your brain. So you can hear it inside your head. You can see it in your mind's eye. You can actually hear it and see it. Sometimes they work together in unison. It's a knowing. You'll just know as you get quiet. The universal mind will download things to your heart, to your spirit, and then you put it into your mind. This is how we are led by the Spirit. So again, there's different ways we can hear spirit as we learn the step before we bring it forth and channel it. Is how do I hear it? Well, you can hear it within your head, and you can see it in your mind's eye, pineal gland. Of course, all this is through pineal gland, or it's a download of information. And that's how we tap in, and that's how we put things in our brain, and that's how we bring it to fruition. That's how we channel the higher self. So let's have fun with it, and just be bold and courageous to come before source energy and get quiet, receiving from source energy, tapping in, channeling that information through the way that you see it in your mind's eye, you hear it in your head, and it's like you're taking dictation. So it might be good for you to write this down at the beginning. And again, those words will be exhortation, comfort, encouragement, or admonition, correction. And have fun with it. All right, it's time to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth through us. We're not separated. We are totally connected through vibration, frequency, and energy. And that's about it for today. I love you guys. I believe the best, hope the best, want the best for you. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.